Hello, this is Alessandrina with Dexter and Alessandrina. And today I wanted to talk about how to simplify your life and why it's important. So, not to say that simplifying our lives is the solution, the entire solution, the global solution to having less stress, less worry, less anxiety, because ultimately it's the understanding of that process of stress, anxiety, and worry that we have that allows us to free ourselves permanently from the stress, worry, and anxiety. And it's understandable that if we have that tendency to get triggered and to go into anxiety or stress or worry, that the more complex our life becomes, the more triggers and the more possibility for triggers to get triggered. So it's in that context, it's important to think about ways in which you can simplify your life simply to make it easier to make the transition until you have a more global approach and understanding to really releasing stress and anxiety and worry. So when we simplify our lives, we now have more bandwidth for the things that are really important, really meaningful to us. And simplifying your life doesn't mean to let go of everything. It simply means to take a close look at yourself and at your life and to become aware of any conditioning or habit that has essentially led you to do things that are not that meaningful or fulfilling to you. And so to do an inventory of your life, of yourself, and to uncover what is truly meaningful and quote unquote necessary, or that you're choosing to bring into your life, so that then the simplicity of that allows you to experience more calm, more peace, more fulfillment, more joy, more love through a process of focus of time, resources, energy, that allows for that kind of depth to be achieved, to be reached, which sometimes when we have so many projects and so many things, so many to-dos on our list, we might not go as deep. We might work more on the surface level of that which we're doing, and there might not be that much fulfillment in that at that level, at the surface level, for us to experience. Whereas if we dive deeper, there can be actually so much depth and fulfillment that comes from that depth in whatever endeavor or relationship we involve ourselves in. So identifying with love and without judgment what is most helpful to you and what isn't, and then focusing your energy, your attention on really those things that are meaningful to you, that are important to you, and simplifying your life in that way through that focus and that depth and that level of fulfillment and energy that comes from it. So much life is generated through that, whereas someone who is like overwhelmed, stretched out on hundreds of things, very involved in many things, it might drain them energetically because there's not that deep connection that feeds their soul, that really brings love and joy to your heart. And you could say that if you do anything and it's devoid of bringing your heart and your soul into it, then what are you really doing? You're not really doing much of anything. And that constant mental process of projection and decision making from those projections doesn't bring that level of fulfillment, of light, of love in oneself, and therefore it, after a while, it becomes meaningless. And we can end up like having an agenda filled days after days, months after months, years after years for some people, and not really the life force, the fulfillment, the energy that we truly want, that we want to experience. And for some people, life can become boring or just meaningless, and they can feel a deep sense of like a void, an absence, a lack of something. And simplifying your life can help you to resolve that, to really instead of feeling void in your life or absence or something is missing, lack of color, lack of energy, lack of love, you can be feeling very fulfilled and very connected, and feeling the depth of things and the multidimensionality of things, and that can just open your heart so much more. Because after all, like, if we're here and we're living life and our hearts are not fully open, and I don't mean fully in an absolute manner, just allowing ourselves to the degree that we can to open our hearts, then life can have that just feeling of monotony and boredom. That is not a reflection of life, it's a reflection of the way that we're going about living and experiencing reality. I hope this was helpful, and it helps you focus on what's meaningful. It helps you really have more joy, more fulfillment, more love in your life as a result. Sending you much love.